Day three. Today I'll do 30 minutes. Let's go. So, since morning I was reading Wikipedia and first I searched about TGV trains, the high speed railway trains that has been used all over Europe and in few countries. TGV is developed by France, and it is the only train that has been successfully developed after Shinkansen of Japan. So in between 1960s and 1980s, TGB has played a huge role on uplifting the economy of France. And the first version of the TGV prototype was being used on gas, fuel, and oil. But since the oil prices was increasing due to the oil crisis that was going on during that period of time, the government decided to push the technology towards developing to electrical energy, which I'm stumbling again. I don't know why. So the government decided to develop the TGV to make it run on electric from nuclear power plants that France had. It went through many iterations, many prototypes, and again went on break its own records and set its own record up to 573 kilometer per hour, which was eventually which was eventually broken by Chinese bullet trains later on. But we have to accept the fact that TGV was a legend in its own time, and the technology is so successful that many companies and countries has imported its technology, such as Korea, Morocco, Spain, Italy, and yeah, the bogies in between two bogies, the wheel system that's being placed to make it run on railway tracks is being placed in such a way that bogies can't be separated in the bogies can't be separated in a it's very difficult to separate the bogies, which is why literally have to use a crane to uplift the coaches, uplift the bogie, and then like it's you can separate it like that only. I've been sensing a pattern here. I can't deliver the information in a very structured way. Getting jump, I'm jumbling my words here and there. Is it because I was having some head pain or something like that? I don't know. But I have to work on my skills no matter what. It's been very tiring. So as I was saying, I was again into the rabbit hole of researching various technologies. Like I first went off to read about TGV. Then I went about reading Shinkansen, the very first country which has developed the high-speed trains like that, and it is also very successful. And many countries also. Why I'm getting out of words, bro? Many countries signed up for the technology transfer, but then Chinese came out and stole the bidding opportunity in Indonesia. And you know what? The way China outmaneuvered Japan in bidding for the high speed railway trains, for the Indonesian high-speed project, it needs to be very studied very well because at that period of time, Japan was known for its high-speed train technology, but then China came out and it has its own unique goal to export cheap Chinese technology to other countries. But Chinese trains was not very well known back then, and that's the reason it needs to be studied. Recently, Chinese trains has been doing really well, but at that period of time, it was like 2013. Chinese train was not known to everyone, and also China was suffering major disastrous catastrophe in its own railways because at that period of time there was this accident which has uh, made its own trains infamous, and that's why the case study of how China beat Japan in the bidding of high-speed railway tracks of Indonesia needs to be studied. I also feel that Japanese trains are very bulky, very very bulky. I don't know why is that, because maybe it's because Japan suffers earthquakes now and then. Is it because of that? I don't know, but I have to know about that. But compared to Japanese high-speed railway trains and France TGV, I think TGV is much more efficient, but not in terms of separating two bogies because the two bogies are well attached by one wheel, and that's the main problem. That's the main issue here. So China, Chinese bullet trains are perfect, perfect. I mean, how I also read about how Chinese have developed their own railway technology. First of all, they were importing different kinds of railway technologies from different companies and countries, like from uh, Kawasaki. Yeah, Kawasaki actually manufactures E1 Shinkansen series, used to manufacture that. So China has imported the technologies of that train to make its own version of that train, Japanese one. Then it has also imported the technology of ICE1 of Germany and made its own Chinese version of that train, similar train. And then it also somehow took the technology of Italy or Spain's high-speed trains technology and made its own version. So China has been doing that during its early period of time of developing its own high-speed railway projects. Later on, what they did is that they cleverly uh, put on layer by layer on those technologies, keeping them as base, and then by reiterating again and again with their own experiments on the railway projects, they have been able to successfully develop their own style of technology, which is now really very well known all around the world after its successful launch, after its successful export to Indonesia. To be honest, Chinese trains they look really efficient and also they work very efficient. I'm certainly having, I don't know why I'm having really uncomfortable speaking. Today in math tuition, I was suffering brain pain, mind pain, and I think I have certain limitations in my cognitive abilities because of which I need to develop certain tools and techniques to uh, manage the cognitive abilities I have right now, and then along with using the technologies to support this state of mind, I should also slowly break the limits of my cognitive abilities one by one. Yep, that's the whole plan. And I was thinking about that when I went on beside the road to chill for some time after the exam. And right now, what I have been witnessing in my own speaking is that I am not, my words are not flowing properly and in a very structured way that I used to do in my previous video. Why is that? Is it because of the brain pain I was having or I'm having right now? I don't know. Or is it because I'm exhausted? I was exhausted back then, but what's the new thing right now? Why my words are flowing very haphazard ways. I went on to read about. I'm not having a good feeling about this. I need to see what's really affecting. My words are not flowing freely. Why is it my own bad? Whatever. It's rain is right here.